Yeah. Check one. Hey, if you can move towards your seats, we're going to be getting started on the live stream. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Columbia Church of Christ. It's great to see your faces this morning instead of having to see it on a little square on my screen. But thank y'all for being here. I know that we still got some folks coming in, but if we could, still stay distance but move as close as you can towards up here, it just makes it a whole lot easier for all of us. We're going to start out by singing a song, Deep Down in My Heart, and I Tried and I Tried. So if you would just keep on coming in, and we're going to begin. Now I want to be like Jesus, deep down in my heart. Now I want to be like Jesus, deep down in my heart. Singing deep, deep, singing down, down, singing deep down in my heart. Woo! Singing deep, deep, singing down, down, singing deep down in my heart. And I love the Lord Messiah, deep down in my heart. And I love the Lord Messiah, deep down in my heart. Singing deep, deep, singing down, down, singing deep down in my heart. Woo! Singing deep, deep, singing down, down, singing deep down in my heart. And I tried and I tried, I tried and I tried. Don't you know? I tried and I tried until I found the Lord. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be content. No. Until I found the Lord. I searched and I searched. I searched and I searched. Don't you know? I searched and I searched until I found the Lord. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be content. No. Until I found the Lord. I found, yes I found. I found, yes I found. Don't you know? I found, yes I found. I finally found the Lord. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be contented. Just couldn't be content. No, until I found the Lord. All right. We're going to start, just preparing our hearts for communion. So we're going to sing Amazing Grace, followed by Holy, Holy. And, just encourage you to sing with all your hearts and to worship. If you raise hands, but just focus on God. Prepare your hearts for just coming to the cross. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. chains are gone. I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing. One more time. My chains are gone, I've been set free. Yeah. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbid to shine. But God, who called me here below, will be forever mine. Will be forever mine. You are forever mine. You can be seated. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. Early in the morning, our song shall rise to Thee. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God over all and blessed eternally. Holy, 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 all the saints adore Thee, casting down their golden crowns around the crystal sea. Cherubim and seraphim falling down before Thee, who was standard and evermore shall be.
Good morning, family. It's great to see you all, to have so many faces here. This is the communion portion of our service, and we're actually going to have a sister share her testimony. So Miss Anita Harden, probably the most graceful woman in the church, is going to be gracing us with her story of how she became a disciple. So I'll turn it over to Anita.
Hello, everyone. I made it without falling, so it's already victory number one. So I'm really honored to be here today to talk to you a little bit about my story and a little bit about what's going on now. So I was actually born right here in Columbia, Missouri. So it's, hometown, although I left immediately. As a baby, moved to California, and that's where I grew up, went to school, went to college, all that good stuff. Thought I'd probably stay there forever. I was working for a bank in California, and they merged with this bank in Arizona. And so I got sent to Arizona just to set up the office. And after being there for a couple of months, they asked me to stay. Now, if you know me, I'm not exactly a risk taker. Like, I just don't do things out of the ordinary. I studied when I was supposed to study, went to school, graduated in exactly 4 years. You just do all the things you're supposed to do. And for whatever reason, I thought, maybe I'll move to Arizona, where I don't know anybody, where I don't know anybody, didn't have any family, didn't have any friends, and I was just like, okay, it's just something, I just feel like I should go. So I moved to Arizona, and I didn't have anybody, and it was super sad. Like, I was just like, why did I do this? My friends are gone, my mom's not here, what can I do? And this girl at work started inviting me to church. And she would just tell me, like, oh, Tuesday night we did this, and Wednesday night we did that, and Thursday night we did that. And I was like, wow, she's weird. Like, who goes to church this much, and who is this excited about church? So I thought something has to be wrong. So I would make up excuses. I didn't have anything to do. I was just going home and watching TV, and TV wasn't even that good back then. But I was like, I'm just not going to go, oh, I have this or I have that. And so finally, she just wore me down. And so I went to my first service, and it was Gordon Ferguson talking about discipleship. Like, that was his new book at the time. This is a long time ago. And so I was just like, wow, I was blown away by the message. But then people were coming up, and they were hugging me. And I was like, wow, this is strange. I've been to churches before, but no one ever hugged me. And then they were like, we've been praying for you. Carrie Lynn has told us to pray for you. And I thought, oh, am I dying? But they were just praying for me to I'm sorry, but just praying for me to come to church because she just loved me, even though she didn't even know me, and I thought she was weird and I was avoiding her. But I kept going. I went to a few other things, and I was just amazed by all the people and amazed by everything that they were teaching. And I started studying the Bible, and every study I cried. Every study just, because I was like, I'd been to church before, but I wasn't really connected to a church ever, and I didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't even know what that meant, other than singing. It was like, well, I don't know how you actually have a relationship with God. And I started reading scriptures that told me that he loved me, and he was my friend, and he was my father, and he determined, the places where I should be so I could have this relationship with him. And that's exactly what he did with Arizona, because there's no reason that I should have been there. Other than to get to know him, other than to learn about him. So I got baptized in 97. So that was pretty cool, and things were great. I mean, I just felt like all my life I'd wanted brothers and sisters, and now I had them, like 1,000-fold. And we had so much fun. We did everything together. It was just the best time of my life, was my first 2 years as a disciple. Now, unfortunately, it hasn't always been sunshine and roses since then, because if it was, then he would have introduced me as Mrs. Keanu Reeves today, but he didn't, so my life isn't exactly what I thought it would be. And this last year especially, and even now, it's been really hard. I've gone through some really hard times as a disciple. My hardest times in my life have been as a disciple. And for a while, I even walked away from God because I was brokenhearted. I think I heard, the scriptures in Jeremiah just talking about, like, he's got plans for me. He's going to prosper me. And I thought, and that means, getting married, having a bunch of kids. And that didn't happen. And I became bitter and just couldn't take it for a while there. Fortunately, because of the super hard things, I was brought to my knees and realized that no matter what other things were going on in my life, no matter what things I had, the people that were in my life, like, I had to have God back, because it was such an emptiness. After you know him, you can't unknow him. And fortunately, I started coming back to church, so that was awesome. And moved here and started having better relationship while I was there, and then came back here. But this last year, as everybody knows, has been pretty tough. Just the social unrest, the racial divisions, the political instances, and they've been hitting me hard. And I just recently have felt like I felt far away from God again. And it really made me scared, because I can't do that again. I don't think I'd make it. And, but fortunately, God puts these people in our lives. He puts Melissa in our lives to have a lesson a couple of weeks ago about being a friend of God again. And I can only say at first, I was like, I don't know. I feel pretty far away. Maybe Jesus. Like, I'll work my way up. I'll be like, okay, I can be a friend to Jesus because he liked a lot of sinners and I'm a sinner, so we could be friends first, and then, then I'll work my way over to God. But then Janice has talked about, like, the lessons that we're going to have coming forward, and just like being in God's presence. The presence of the Lord is something that I wanted to be in again. So I started thinking back, because he, asked me to speak here today, and I was like, okay, well, what was different back then? And so I want to share a little of that with you today, because I want to go back to that. But some of the things that were the most important when I first became a disciple is praying loudly, obnoxiously, but praying with other people and singing with other people. We used to have Wednesday night devos, and we would go to this park after that, and there was a little lake, and we would just pray so loud because we wanted that, we hoped, for one, that God would be like, oh, they're awesome. But then, like, maybe somebody walking their dog would hear us, and then we could invite them to church, because we were so excited about inviting people to church back then. And but we prayed together, we prayed loudly, we prayed outside, and we prayed persistently. So for the next couple of months, we were praying about people's jobs, about people's health. One thing that I was praying about was my mom, because I wanted her to move to Arizona and come to church. And when I asked her to move to Arizona and come to church, she was like, nope. And it seemed pretty hopeless. But after a few months of praying, she's your sister right now, and she did get baptized, and we saw a lot of miracles from that praying. And now when I think about it, okay, I'm like, you know what, that's what I need to do again. I need to pray with my brothers and sisters. I need to pray loud. I need to sing. I need to dance. I need to be like David. I need to just not hold back in my desire to have that relationship again, not hold back my love, not be fearful of getting hurt, but especially praying with my friends, because my friends are my family and they lift me up, and, they are my connection to God. And so I know that once I work on my connection with my friends again, once I start praying, once I just see God in nature too. That was one of the things, just acknowledging him in the breeze, That's one thing that I feel like God's kind of whispering to me when I just sit still and hear the wind rustling through the trees. I'm just like, hi, God, or you see like a beautiful sunset, and it's like, gosh, you're just showing off, you're so awesome. And so I want to get back to that. I want to get back to being the person that I was before. And I know that I can, and I know that we all can. And I know that things are already getting better in our world. It's still not easy. It's still so much sickness and so much sadness. But we can be friends with God again. We can be close to Him. And so that's what I pray for myself to work on. And I pray for all of you. And gosh, I love you guys. Thank you.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and say a prayer, and we'll take the bread and the cup. Father, thank you so much that we get to be your friend, that because of Jesus and his sacrifice, the door has been opened, and we can come into a relationship with you. Father, grateful to hear Anita's story and just be reminded of how much you care about us. God, it's so cool to see her example and to see how much she desires to be close to you. And Father, I pray that we can all have that same desire, that we can be close to you, that we can enter into that intimacy with you, God. Thank you that Jesus opened up the way for us to do so by dying on the cross and his body being broken and his blood being poured out. God, I pray that as we take communion today, that we can remember how much was given up for us and what that allows us to do. God, that we do get to be close to you. And so we love you so much. It's in your son's name I pray all these things. Amen.